AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green. Honestly, I admit Stephen A. Smith really pissed me off. Stephen A. Smith really pissed me off. Sit back. Is this the video? Okay, let's see this.
Stephen A. Smith really pissed me off. And the reason he pissed me off was because he hit me. He's like, yo, it's been hard for a lot of us to talk about you these last few days. You know, for me, I'm like, okay, it's been hard for me to watch, but I'm watching it because I want to see everything that everybody has to say. But the thing that pissed me off is you tell me it's been hard for y'all to talk about me. Stephen A., anytime I meet someone and they say something about you, it's never like, yo, I like him. He cool. It's always like, man, that dude, he a character, he's this, he's that. And I always say back, I actually know the guy. The guy is actually a cool dude. You can take what you want from the TV screen. I actually know the guy. He's a cool dude and a real dude. And then you get the opportunity to talk about me. And listen, I know you got a job to do. I know you got to do your thing and say what you got to say. But at not one point did you say, well, y'all are saying this person is up and this person need help. Now, I know the person. Say what you want about the basketball player, that's fine. But I know the person. But to sit back and see those that claim to know and appreciate me as a human being just flow with the narrative because it was easy to do, I lost a lot of respect for a lot of people.
Did you want to see Stephen A's response, or that doesn't matter?
Does it matter to you?
I watched it. I saw it. I heard what he had to say.
It was on TV. Oh, here we go.
He responded on First Take with Molly.
Oh, here we go. Just you know what I mean? Thank you for giving me a couple seconds.
Absolutely.
And within those couple of seconds,
got your back, brother. You know that.
My guy, Trillium says, asking for 10 minutes of fun is crazy, Fabe.
Yeah, Trilly, because I wasn't gonna get him.
Listen, I'm not pausing nothing. I'm sick of it.
And he said he wasn't pausing nothing.
I'm 41. I'm going crazy.
I'm
not doing the churros thing that Barkley did. That was Barkley's crazy. Barkley got classics.
Fabian, don't start this shit. Hold on. Don't start this. Don't you ever double fist. I don't want to see it. You hear what I'm saying to you, Fabian? I don't want to see it. That nigga was double fisted.
Yo, Shaq is sitting there crying. He said,
crying. Nah.
Here's Stephen A's response to Draymond Green. It might be a little bit longer, but I don't care.
Yeah,
give me that.
Play it.
It said that he lost respect for me. Well, I've now lost respect for him. I love this brother. I got mad love for Draymond Green. I have an abundance of receipts where I can show you, and Molly, you can be a testament to this.
Okay.
How many times have I spoken up for Draymond Green? It's been countless times. This man has been ejected from games 20 times in his career. Only Rasheed Wallace, another brother of mine, has been ejected for more games in his NBA career. In a 4-month span, 9 months. In a 9-month span last year, Draymond Green was suspended 4 times. And when he hit Nurkic, it was me that was on the air. You can attest to this, Molly. When you had people talking about anger management, talking about he needs help.
Yeah.
Talking about all these. I was the one that said, yo, that's going too damn far. I was the one that had a problem with Kevin Durant saying, quote, I hope he gets the help he needs. I said, that's a brother. That's another teammate. You know, he's a black man. You know what that connotates. How are you going to say something like that? And then a month later was the chokehold on Rudy Gobert. And at that moment in time, I surmise this sound that I'm going to call for right now is what Draymond Green was alluding to. Could y'all play that, please? Listen, you know me. You know how I feel about the brother. I would look for any excuse that I could to defend him because I believe in him character-wise, but his actions have sullied all of that. There's no way around this. The reality is he seems like he is out of control, and I hate that. And my level of sensitivity heightens even more so as a black man because last time they were bringing up anger management issues, and that just pissed me off.
I don't care about
you understand
that.
What he.
People are going to. Rudy Gobert was first, then Nurkic. I get you.
Yes, Rudy Gobert was first.
I just want to make sure because people are going to.
Got it.
Mince words there.
Right. I'm saying.
Yeah.
What was the problem?
Obviously, the part that you highlighted, Stephen A., about the anger management and how you were sensitive to that, being a black man and not wanting to give credence. I mean,
being a black man.
We all heard.
Yo, look at his face, man. Bunch of millionaires, man. Stephen A. and Draymond are trash. They both two big girls arguing. I can't even say that. They two. I'm not supposed to say that. They both just. What are they talking about, man?
That piece right there. So I'm assuming what triggered him was you saying that he was out of control, but I think you were referring to just the incident.
Oh, shut up.
He also told the league office he felt like he needed to get himself together, that he wasn't right. I know this because as I tried to educate folks weeks ago, when you had Steven Jackson calling me a snitch because I called up the league office about Russell Westbrook, I didn't call them to suspend Russell Westbrook. I called because we had NBA countdown in an hour. The Clippers game was our game. Russell Westbrook hadn't been suspended, and I was asked to find out what were the details behind the decision. That's my job. We're on First Take. We have about 12 to 15 segments a day, about 70 to 75 takes a week.
Yeah.
I give over 3,000 takes a year on this show alone. I've given over 40,000 takes throughout my career. You would think I'm not going to make everybody happy with every single syllable that comes out of my mouth, but I pride myself on being fair. I pride myself on being a human being. I know that Draymond Green has 4 beautiful kids. I know that he has a lovely wife. I know that his mom is wonderful. I know that his inner circle is everything. I know that about him, which is why I've spoken up religiously for him on his behalf on many occasions without him asking, because I know the brother personally and I believe in him. I think he's going to be a star in this industry. I think his podcast is great. I think his future is bright.
Right there, actually, because one thing I think I remember when we had this conversation, I'm not trying to interrupt your flow.
That would have been funny if she said, let me pause you for a second. His podcast is trash.
You were media that he could become.
Who cares,
for you to go on a podcast. Now, listen, Draymond and I'll never hate him. I'll never have anything but love for him. But I don't respect what he did. You know my number. You've spoken to me before. Why am I hearing about it on Shaq's podcast? It would have been nice for Shaq to follow up and say, yo, this Stephen A. you talking about. This brother always defends you. It would have been nice for Shaq to do that, but that's, he does what he does. And you know what? He's not a journalist like I am, so I get that. I understand it. Just like I'm not a Hall of Fame all-time great like he is. I understand that. I'm just simply saying the important point to point out is, we talk about being men. I'm not hard to find. Draymond could have called me up.
I've been
Draymond could have had a conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't need to find that out on Shaq's podcast when the world knows when he is wrong. I did not do that. You're going to take a soundbite. You know how much stuff I've said positive about Draymond Green? You know how many times I've come to the defense of Draymond Green about his character in the league office, in media, in the newsroom, on podcasts, on various interviews that I've done? I have never, ever failed to support him. And all I'm saying is that if you're going to have a problem with me, let a brother know. Why am I finding out because of a podcast from Shaq 6 months or whenever it was after all of this happened?
To be fair, did you call him, since you guys clearly had a relationship, did you call him before you were going to speak about him?
What you talking about? Did I call before?
I'm saying,
I always text a call. I always text a call.
That's what I'm making sure, because if you're saying he owed me that courtesy.
Get out of here, man. I don't have to call Flea. I'm about to talk about Flea. He's a world famous athlete, bro. Shut up, Stephen A. Smith. These guys are just big. Like, and because I know Flea's done with it. But I got 7 minutes on that, baby. We're going to get some prime time views. They're telling on themselves. Draymond thinks he's slick. You don't want to be on ESPN. You want to roll with TNT and see what Shaq and them is doing. Shaq got his own company. Barkley just announced he has his own company. You drawing a line, Draymond. I get it. Because you ain't speak this strongly about LeBron not coming on your podcast. Stephen A. just always being defensive like this. This is what happens when you play politics. You think you're a politician. Stop trying to be cool with everybody. Everybody ain't cool with you. They don't like you. They don't. Why do you need Draymond's his approval right now? Who cares? Why? I'm trying to figure this out, Flea.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
Please tell me.
I'm gonna explain.
Why does Stephen A. Smith need Draymond Green's approval?
Because Stephen A. will never be honest with us about this one thing. He thinks he's one of them, and he is not. That is the problem. And it's whenever he is honest with himself. See, he could do it in jest, right? He could do it in conversation like he just did with Shaq. He's not a journalist like me, and I'm not a Hall of Famer like him, right? You can say that in jest. But if once he gets fully honest with himself that he is not a 5-time champion, a first ballot Hall of Famer, like some of the guys that he covers, he would be so much better. But he has this shit conflated with the fact that there's a celebrity to him now. He makes just as much as some of the lower level players in the league, right? He has become in his mind an equal to these NBA players. And I think he messes up the fact that you cover them. These niggas are not your friends. Stop thinking these niggas are your friends. That's my other issue. You walk around here, my man, my brother, my this, my that. These niggas not your friends. They not your friends. They do a job that you have to cover. If you build a relationship, cool. But stop moving around here like you are one of their close ones, like you're one of their peoples. Like they're going to call you for their son's graduation. They're going to call you for a barbecue, somebody getting married, the birth of a child, all of these kind of things. They're not calling you for that. Stop running around here like you cool with everybody and they, because you have their number, because you can reach out to them and say, hey, come do a spot on First Take, come do a spot on my podcast, does not mean you they mans. I think he's very, very confused. And when situations like this happen, it flusters him because it quickly reminds him, damn, that ain't my man like I thought it. No, I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. Draymond has conversations. You heard what he said. I have conversations. People run up to me and they give me the real about how they feel about him. Yes, I do come to the defense and say I know him as a person. But we're not breaking bread. Like, cut it out, man. We're not breaking bread. You're not calling me over to have dinner. This relationship that Shannon and Stephen A. have is new. This is not like a real friendship that they've fostered over years. This is business. And what you're seeing on TV is a business relationship. I know you, Fabian. I call you. We talk offline. We talk every day, multiple times a day. Texting, not just Knicks Rehab. You know my daughter made the honor roll yesterday. You know my son is graduating high school tomorrow. You shouting at my moms because my mom, like, we are brothers. We are friends. We have a real relationship. Stephen A. is confusing that with a lot of these athletes, bro. And then he gets on there and has to defend himself. And you can see the frustration and the fluster every time he does it. He had to do it with KD. He had to do it with Melo, Kyrie, Draymond. The list goes on, bro. The list goes on. there's a classic story that he seems to feel comfortable talking about lately, but there's a real story about him and Big Babe. I mean, him and Big Dog, Glenn Robinson. And that's a real story. He's comfortable talking about it now because it's died down. Big Dog was going to take your head off because you chat too much. You think you one of the guys in here, and you're not. So, I'm in great Stephen A. fashion. I love the dude. I love his work. I love everything he does. Great guy on TV. But you're not one of these athletes, bro. You're not one of these NBA players. Please stop forgetting that.
That was pure flames.
That's what I got, man.
Because oh my God, what you just said right now, I immediately thought of Jay-Z. When he took over Def Jam, and all of a sudden Def Jam, DMX, all these guys were like, yo, man.
L wanted to slap fire out of him. Don't get your head smacked by LL Cool J. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
And regardless of where we used to, because at the time I'm like, well, not for nothing, X and LL, you mad old. But they were speaking to.
There was a point. Right. Go ahead.
They were speaking to, you told me the inmates run the asylum, bro. You were one of us. And that's a little bit different. Here's the difference. Jay-Z was one of them. He was the artist. Right. He knows exactly how they feel.
Right.
But to your point, this is business and friendships and family and business. They don't really mix like that. And this is rare what we got right now because there's no real. I can't wait till the Hulu bag hits the table. Then we be like, oh, hold on. The real Fabian came out. This guy's really a jerk. Right? But we've seen it time and time again, and it's like it's easier to do without the money. But it's beyond the money because Stephen A. Smith does cover these guys. Your job is not to be cool with them like that. You're really a snaky kind of individual to begin with, because that's how you get information. That's how you got info when you and AI got cool, and AI was blowing up the same time you were, and his celebrity helped your celebrity as a reporter, journalist, because you were holding back information. That's what I didn't tell everybody what I do know, right? If I would have told everybody what happened, why you got to say something like that? You couldn't tell me anything like that. You would have never been around me after that. Yo, tell him everything. I dare you.
Yep.
That's what my words would have been if I was AI to Stephen A. Are you stupid? What?
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A's lucky nobody really that they're players, and they will go to jail, get fined, all kind of stuff if they snuff you. But you're playing this game that you know you're playing. I didn't think about that till you just said it. Maybe I thought about it, I forgot it, but that's so genius. Bro, you're playing the whole I'm from Hollis thing, and you're trying to infiltrate, play the Trojan horse thing. And after a while, it's like, you're not us. Stop playing like that. We're the former athletes turning this into something. And even they have to learn. Even Barkley showing you how to do it. Like, these guys are too sensitive, man. I don't care what they think.
They don't need to keep hearing you. I'm glad you said that, bro. They don't need to keep hearing you from Hollis, Queens. You're validating yourself. I'm trying to validate that I could be in these rooms. Just let your work speak. And that's why I tried to end with. His work is great. His work is great. Journalism. Some of your favorite players, right? I'm going to just say this real fast. Go back, early 90s, mid 90s, when you go and read the Daily News and you're looking at high school sports and you're looking at articles about Stephon Marbury, guess who wrote those articles in the Daily News? Go look at the name, by Stephen A. Smith. He's done great work for years. Let that stand for you. Nothing about you being up the block from me and how you talk and all that. We don't need all of that. The authentism would come from, I know I'm not that, but I carved the lane out doing this. And I'm going to be authentic with this. I shouldn't have to feel like, and I know I'm not the only one, that feels like he confuses himself with one of them.
I never thought about it until until you said that. Hold on, LB Wavy said Fabian's gonna be Deezus in the Deezus and Mero breakup.
Yo,
That's crazy.
Yo,
That's
chill.
so
Don't
like
do us
what?
like that.
That
Don't-
was crazy.
That was
because
funny. That
I'm-
was funny.
I'm Dominican, so he threw the reversal on me.
Yes,
and
he
Deezus
did.
did him dirty. Apparently, I
Yeah.
don't know dirty, but he clearly
I
had a
don't know
different
that.
vision.
Yeah, I don't know their and that's unfortunate. I hate seeing those kind of things. We see
They
it.
were so big, and that was two people I don't think who spoke enough because Carmelo cornered him, and again, it's about conversation that
Ran down on them.
right, but they again
Don't get the bag and be on bullshit, Fabian.
No, but this ties in together because there's no way you
Don't
hit
get
my
the
phone.
bag and be on bull.
First of all, I got the shades on already. Number one. Number two, the shade on is crazy. Number two, Deezus and Mero were supposed to have these conversations because you're a partnership. Draymond don't owe you nothing, Stephen A.
No.
The only reason why you feel that way also, because I never thought about what you said, but the only other reason why you feel that way is because you want him on First Take. You want him on your YouTube channel. You want him to partner because you think he's still an algorithm.
He just
said,
bump. He just said, I think he's going to be a star
right
in this industry.
And
you don't think Stephen A wants to cozy up next to another star? What are we talking about? It was burning his soul that Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless was so successful. Burning his soul that for 7 years he had a real competitor. I lined you up. Here you go. I'm going to go over here. I'm referring to Skip right now. I'm going to go over here. And we're going to duke it out. And I'm going to show. They was never big as First Take. Undisputed was never as big as First Take. But they were right there. Right there.
But that's a beautiful transition to my next thought. Stephen A. Smith did Skip Bayless dirty with that Shannon Sharpe scenario. And I never understood why. There's something going on with him and Skip. And he has the same frenemy relationship with everybody, it feels like. Stephen A. does.
Yeah.
Max Kellerman. Even Shannon Sharpe hasn't felt it yet, but I'm pretty sure Shannon, if he's not aware of it.
Coming. That is on the way. That's on the way.
We all see it. Who can sit? I can't think of anyone that can sit next to Stephen A. Smith. There's only one person, as a matter of fact, that can sit across or next to Stephen A. Smith, and it feels right at home.
Colin Adams? Yeah, I know. I'm comfortable.
Next to Stephen A. Smith?
I'm comfortable.
It wouldn't be comfortable. It would be one is authentic, the other guy's, right? There's only one person.
Who you got?
Skip Bayless.
Oh.
There was no other perfect marriage with Stephen A. Smith. That's the guy that left you, I guess, for more money for Fox or whatever it was. He wanted to live in LA or whatever it was. Shannon's doing that now. So there's nobody else that looks as comfortable with Stephen A. Smith. He's not, to me, he's not really, even with that being on TV right now, it wasn't that great. What's great about you is that you're a loud Muppet. That's how you got on. You're a Muppet. Skip Bayless is a Muppet. Shannon Sharpe has become a Muppet. Charles Barkley, I don't know if he's a Muppet because he's very talented. He's funny, like legit talented. Funny. We look to inside the NBA to see him. Like even Shaq can't do. Shaq is funny, but he ain't Charles Barkley funny.
He's not Chuck. He's not Chuck.
And Draymond has shown me something lately, but he's going through his early Shaq phase in the media game because he's still kind of, when he gets a lot more comfortable and gets rid of this, he's trying to argue about everything, right? But my point is that everyone needs help. It's entertainment. It's Hollywood. And I never thought about him thinking that he was just like them and that he's cool with everybody until right now you said that. And I'm like, yo, he does have a frenemy relationship with everybody. And we don't even know that dude. We just reacting to what we see.
But the other side of this too, Fabe, is that the players that are inserting themselves in this lane are becoming exactly who they hated for years.
Oh my God.
Everybody,
but they. I'm sorry.
Everybody is using their lane for personal vendettas that they have. I'm gonna just keep it on Draymond. I ain't even gonna talk about the rest of these dudes. The mere fact that you you use your platform to get your rocks off on Rudy Gobert is corny. It's corny. That Minnesota Timberwolves team is the best defensive team in the league from October to April. Nothing about that was a fluke. There is a reason why they are the way they are on the defensive end. Jaden McDaniels is great. Anthony Edwards is amazing. But Rudy Gobert anchors that defense. So for you to always try to find a way to shade him is corny to me. Every time you talk about somebody that you've had something with in the NBA, you use your platform to get it off. And I just think if you're authentic, we look to you because you are a guy that was out there. So we want to hear you talk about the game. People have this, JJ has this pompous attitude, and LeBron James has this pompous attitude. If you can't look through that and see that they're teaching a lot of you casuals who don't know the game, who have no clue, they're literally taking their time to teach y'all. But y'all would much rather listen to this dude who does some teaching, but Draymond does a lot more of the banter and a lot more of the, what do I always say, kicking people in the back, right? He does a lot more of that. And so I just hope that as more and more guys get into this media space, as more and more guys get into this content space, don't become the people that you've hated for so long.
I think I will end it with this, though. Oh, we'll try to end it with this. It is just showing you that Stephen A is just human, and it wasn't as easy as you may have thought it was to be something, to be this true, whatever you thought you were going to be, Draymond. You're just like Stephen A, and that's my real issue. You guys are the same people. You're not JJ Redick, even though JJ does have his own agenda, just like you guys. He wants the money. Y'all ain't quite JJ. Draymond's not calling a game. Stephen A, you're not calling a game. You're not calling a game. Not this game. You calling, like you said, you calling some WWE games. You could call out Rudy Gobert and kick his back in after you put him in a headlock. Yeah, you could do that, Draymond.
Rudy and his team still playing.
And that's what we're talking about. It's like, that's why 50 Cent kind of pisses me off sometimes. Like, bro, enough is enough. You got money. There's no need for it. You don't have to talk about everything. And it's dirty. It's nasty. It's nasty. It's not as easy as everyone thinks. Yeah, we're using your clips to get views, and we react to it, but we're being authentic about it. Draymond doesn't explain why Rudy Gobert. Draymond doesn't explain why Rudy Gobert shouldn't be the defensive player of the year. And when he does, he's not like, we can see right through him. He does certain things he's great on. When he's actually questioned, when there's a question on inside the NBA, he reacts to it well because there's somebody there to interact with. But JJ Redick doesn't do that. He's very prepared, it looks like. I'm kind of excited if he becomes a coach just to see if it fails, because it's like, well, maybe the writing's on the wall. He should be this. Do we see Draymond being a head coach?
Yes. Could he do it? Yes. Yes. Could he do that? Yes. Could he be good at it? Completely different question.
Do you see it?
No. I do not see a franchise hiring him to be a leader of men. No.
AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.